Alright, so I've got my well overdue beer review to do. I've got my buddy Dane here. He likes beer as much as me, but doesn't like to talk, so he'll probably give you a thumbs up or thumbs down if he likes it. They sent me two different breweries. This is for the month of October, and actually it's probably September, but I don't fucking know. So, two breweries, Blackstone Brewery and Fordham. Blackstone is in Nashville, and Fordham is in Dover, Delaware. And so, again, the service is $39 a month, and they send you 12 beers. This is the first one that they've sent in bottles. The last two that you guys have seen are all in cans. But I'm kind of excited about the Blackstone stuff. It's the Chaser Pale has 2 gold medals, and then their Nut Brown Ale has 1 gold medal, both at the World Beer Cup. But go ahead and start off with the Chaser Pale. So Chaser Pale is a German-style Kolsch. It's 5.2 ABV, 18 IBUs, so a lighter beer. It says it's got a hoppiness flavor with bready malt. I really don't know how to describe this other than it's a light beer. But very light, golden color, and I don't know. It's just really, it's an easy drinking beer, but it really doesn't have too much character to me. I don't know if you
like it. It's like you said, it is a lighter beer. If you don't like light beer, you're not going to like it most likely. But it's pretty good in my opinion. It's, I don't know. It almost seems like wheat beer to me, the way it tastes. Generally, I don't like wheat beer.
Without the wheat.
Right. Well, I mean, it's, I don't know, got a little bit of that, I guess, musty taste almost to it, you know? I don't know how to describe beer taste, but anyway, I think it's pretty good. I drink a lot of beer, and I'm generally considered pretty picky, but I could drink this one.
Alright. Yeah, it says it's got, like, floral hop notes, honey, and biscuits, which I definitely, I don't know, none of that stuff comes out. I think I taste a lot more of the bitterness of the hops than I do the floral aroma. But alright, so next is the Nut Brown Ale. It's 5.6 ABV and 23 IBUs. It's an English style brown ale. Obviously deep amber. Basically a brown ale color. So I don't really taste much of the nuttiness flavor. I kind of taste the maltiness, kind of the little bit roasted maltiness, but really doesn't have, to me, too much variation beyond the standard brown ale style.
You gotta agree with that. It's real smooth, definitely very smooth. Like you said, there's nothing negative necessarily, but it's there's nothing that really stands out about it either, in my opinion.
Yeah, and to be honest, to sum both of these up, they're very clean, easy drinking beers. I definitely see why they won gold medals, because they are very suiting of the profile that they are, but they don't have a lot of variation beyond the base style. But typically, as you've seen most of my reviews, they'll have one that's very hardline with most styles, and then they'll have one that does some variations. Alright, so next is Fordham Brewing. They have a spiced harvest ale, and it's almost Thanksgiving, but after Halloween. So typically I drink pumpkin ales around Halloween time, but Thanksgiving is also a great time to drink it.
Thanksgiving's the best time to drink it.
Anytime's the best time to drink it. But I definitely smell the spices. It describes it as a pumpkin pie in a glass, which usually makes me want to avoid drinking it, because
it smells real strong.
Yeah,
all spice will singe your fucking nose hairs off.
Yeah, definitely. But last year we brewed a pumpkin ale that we doubled the spices, but we pretty much ×8 the pumpkin, and it came out good. Definitely not too pumpkiny, which I don't think you could really overdo a pumpkin except for brewing inside of a pumpkin. That would taste terrible. But the spices were fine. We'll see how this one stands up.
So I tasted it. Like I said, it smells real strong, but the taste doesn't kick you like quite as the smell does. Definitely a lot of allspice taste to it, which people generally characterize as pumpkin. But I think it's pretty good, actually. I am a fan. I'm a little bit biased towards pumpkin ales myself. You know, in moderation, they're quite good, you know, like once a year. But I like this one, actually. There's nothing, doesn't have bitterness that a lot of them usually have, and it's not overly sweet. It just has that nice allspice and earthy tone to it.
Yeah. First drink that I had, I tasted a lot of the allspice, but afterwards I can taste more of the cinnamon and allspice. You don't really taste too much of the pumpkin in it, which, like he said, is good. Sometimes they'll overdo the pumpkin, it'll be super bitter, even though I said you can't really overdo the pumpkin. But beers are supposed to be bitter. It's just any beer that doesn't have a good balance can always taste terrible. But I would argue it's goodly balanced, maybe too much, a little too much allspice, but tad bit, I'll say. But overall, a very enjoyable beer. Alright, so next is the Rosie Parks Oyster Stout. This one is 5.0 ABV and 29 IBUs, which isn't very bitter for a stout, but it's also an English stout. And also, it is made with whole oyster shells and actual oysters in the boiling process. So they filter that stuff out before it gets into the beer. You're not going to find a oyster floating in here. But it definitely imparts a lot of the flavors. But we'll see how that stands up.
Because you know when they put fish in beer, it's going to be good. But actually this one, it's pretty solid actually. It's, let me try it again actually.
Definitely has a very dark, roasted malt backbone, but there's not much character behind it.
Yeah, I've had other oyster stouts before, like Flying Dog, they make one, and it's got a lot more, I don't know, complexity almost to the taste, I guess. Like but this one's very subtle, very subtle. But it's actually good. I could drink every one of these beers, I think, quite consistently. The pumpkin one would probably wear on me at some point, but I think the rest of them I could drink a case or two of.
Yeah, I think with the exception of the Chaser Pale, I just didn't find it exciting enough. I could drink all of them. The one thing that I find funny is that typically they have about 6 or 7 different flavors that you can pick out in the beer listed on the profile of the beer. But this one, it literally says, this medium-bodied stout offers a rich malt character with slight bitterness. That's pretty much couldn't be more true. It's medium-bodied. It is very dark for how medium-bodied it is, but not too much character and a little bit of bitterness. Overall, if I had a favorite, I'd definitely go with the Spiced Harvest Ale.
Yeah, me too, actually. The other ones, like you were saying, they don't stand up on their own character that much. They're just universally likable. The Spiced Harvest Ale, you know, it kind of tries to create its own flavor, I guess. So,
yep.
I gotta say, I like that one more. But I could drink any of them.
Yeah. So definitely, getting to the end. So, was this box worth my money? Do I want to spend $3 on any of these beers? No. I wouldn't go out and buy them. But again, it's for the whole purpose that these are all places that I can get access to their beer, and I got to at least try them. But overall, again, it's the experience. What you guys will see in my next box is that They actually sent me some beer I do have access to, and I'll get that review out to you shortly after this one comes out. But it's kind of disappointing sometimes when you get beer that's close to you. So if you're on the East Coast and you get access to this beer, it's cool that other people are getting to try it. But overall, not very exciting for you because you can go out and pick up these beers for a lot cheaper. Anyways, that's it for this review. If you liked the video, please click like below. If you want to see more of him, put that in the comments below. And of course, cats are always in my videos. You just got to watch out for them because you never know when they're going to jump in the picture. But if there's any other boxes you'd like me to check out, I want to do more beer stuff for you guys. So if there's any other beer stuff, there's definitely the Rare Beer Club, which I plan on checking out because it gives you beers that you can't get elsewhere. But this is more so a breadth of different breweries that are out there. So if you want to see more videos, just click subscribe or leave something you'd like to see in the comments below. Thanks.
See you.